Welcome to my news show, recorded on my Xbox Connect. No, I'm not actually recording this on my Connect. Here's the news. Digital Homicide has been known for doing a lot of shitty things, and for the most part, they've gotten away with it. However, Valve has finally had enough of it, and have removed all of Digital Homicide's games from Steam and Steam Greenlight. Valve didn't just decide this on a whim. The reason they are finally doing this is because Digital Homicide filed a lawsuit against 100 Steam users. They claim the users were involved in stalking, harassing, and impersonating them. It seems a bit hypocritical for them calling out someone else for harassment, don't you think? Valve has stated that they stopped doing business with Digital Homicide for being hostile to Steam customers. If you don't know who Digital Homicide is, you're lucky, but let me explain a little. Basically, they develop games, and I use the word develop loosely, that are objectively terrible and sell them for a couple dollars. Their goal is that people will buy them in order to get trading cards. Don't ask me why people would do this, but apparently some people actually do that. So not only is this borderline scamming, they defend the quality of their games with their lives, issuing false DMCA takedown notices to people who talk negatively about them. It's bad enough that they release the garbage that they do, but I can't tell if they legitimately think their games are good or if they just like bullying people. There's a lot more information on Digital Homicide out there if you care enough to read about them. All you need to know is that they are not good people. Back to the issue involving Steam. Is this going to prevent people from doing similar things on Steam? No. Digital Homicide is one of many developers who do this. I don't even feel right calling them developers. If you have visited Steam Greenlight or are somewhat aware of the games on it, then you know this issue will not go away anytime soon. The only reason Digital Homicide is so well known is because of their aggressive nature. Of course, I don't feel bad for Digital Homicide. They had this coming sooner or later. If you falsely mess with legal issues as much as they do, one day it will go too far. I hope none of these Steam users get negatively affected by this. However, I don't doubt that a lot of these Steam users were actually harassing them, so it's a little difficult for me to be sympathetic for them as well. Two wrongs don't make a right. Just because someone else is being shitty doesn't give you the right to be shitty as well. If you have already changed your Battle.net battle tag once, and Blizzard won't allow you to change it again, you're in luck. Kind of, depending on how desperate you are for that name change. Blizzard still allows for one free battle tag change, but after that you'll have to pay a $10 fee to change it again. As you could imagine, people aren't too happy about this. It's nice that they are allowing you to change your name more than once, but the price tag of $10 is a little ridiculous. It is assumed that the price is supposed to prevent people from frequently changing their names, but that's just speculation. Microsoft also has a fee in place for name changes on Xbox Live, but other PC services like Steam and Origin allow for name changes without any kind of fee. I can understand that Blizzard maybe doesn't want people to change their battle tags, whether it's for technical reasons or they just don't want it to happen, we don't really know. You could give the argument that this is better than nothing because in the past you weren't allowed to change your name more than once, but I don't know. If you're going to implement a feature into your service, maybe you should do it well, to minimize the number of angry community members. Well, these news shows just keep getting shorter and shorter. Next week I will probably only have one news story. I don't remember how many I had last week. I think it was 2. I also had minor stories, which I guess I could talk about here. I already have news on Blizzard and Battle.net. Later in the week, Blizzard has announced that the name of Battle.net is being changed, and it's for this specific reason. People don't know if it's Battle.net or Battle.net or whatever. At least that's what I got out of it. I didn't think it was that interesting, so I didn't fully read the article, but I guess that's news. Another news story that I considered doing was more No Man's Sky stuff, kind of, because everyone loves their No Man's Sky news. But basically, Sony is calling out Hello Games on their poor PR decisions. And a lot of people know and are aware that No Man's Sky had probably one of the biggest PR disasters. I don't know about ever, but, you know, Mighty Number 9 was pretty bad, but I think this one tops that one. But it was mostly just Sony kind of talking about... They didn't even really say what they did wrong, but the point of the article was basically, at least it seemed like Sony was telling us that they are aware that No Man's Sky was a PR disaster. They're kind of just putting the blame on Hello Games and saying like, oh, we just published their game and put their trailers on our YouTube channel and allowed them to advertise on our things, but that was all their fault. The false advertising, you can blame that on Hello Games, that's not us. But whatever, I read the article, I'm like, that was not as interesting as I thought it would be, so here's a really crappy version of the news. As always, links to the various news articles, all 2 of them, will be in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. Feel free to rate the video how it seems fit, and subscribe for weekly news that will eventually drop to like 30-second news. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.